Greetings everyone, here's Lodrik and this is a game War in the Pacific Advanced Edition. This is my PBEM match against Xargun. He's the Allied Commander and for me it is the Empire of Japan. This is scenario 1 on game version 26B, was in stock, no modifications, 14th of July. So, yeah, the refit of most of my carriers are now done. Shukaku Zuikaku also ready to departure Colombo again once more. And my battle cruiser formation at Tahiti is trying still to find anything to sink there in the far, far southeast Pacific. But it looks like we have no engagement here today. Good. At least no Allied submarine sinking my resource, oil, fuel convoys. Most important is supplies. I support ground attack strikes with a very small impact, but I get experience. I can disable some enemy squads, so why not? And still no Allied 100 or 1000 bomber offensive against Japanese positions. So I don't know where all these hundreds of bombers are hiding for Xargun. Maybe there is some upgrade coming, I don't know. Maybe. Bombardments. Nothing new here. My tanks was fully recovered, so I strike again. Every 3-4 turns I can make an attack, disable some equipment, then I rest my tanks. Most of the time, because these combat reports are never so true, so there's always disabled equipment for me, and I get fatigue and disruption on my tanks, so I cannot attack non-stop. Okie dokie. So, yeah, okay. Sometimes the game's a little slow. Yeah, there was a lot of stuff arriving just now. The Allies lost one more Dornier. I guess still somewhere at Colombo. No sinking sounds, nothing else. Yeah, maybe I'm closing into 40,000 points. Xargun is at around 6,200, so yeah, I'm in lead. But the air war is balanced, I would say. I'm successful, of course, in land war, but this is typical, I would say, for the first 6 months of the war. Biggest success was still, I think, the Navy for me. I lost 38 ships, but it's not really much value to these ships. Most of them, at least, are low point ships. And Xargun lost at least 2, 3, or 4 carriers and other equipment. Plus a bunch of tankers and APs. Goodie. Yeah, China is bombardments. And nothing else. And my pilots in this airing, I don't know, I think, is that good? Not so good? I don't know. They're okay. So this is a standard Japanese army bomber pilot. I train them on ground bombardments up to 70 normally, 70, 71. Then there are defense of 60, 65, and then I go for normally Navy bombardment to 60, 65, and then there are also with defense done at 70. And more you cannot train, so now I make counterattacks, and then you can see it's very slowly but steadily you can get the pilots up to 75, some around that. But I could use also this air wing or this pilots at least for Navy bombardment. That is, I think, this is always for me the secondary skill I train Army pilots. You can also go for sub-hunter groups, but like 2/3 or even more I go for Navy bombardment. This is much more common and more flexible. Sub-hunting is unlikely to hit anything, and it's you don't need too many air wings of this, or not so many pilots trained for it. So my carriers are, I think, done, so I can maybe departure today, or I must wait. Yeah, I need one more day to fix my cruisers here. Okay, that is better. Wait one more turn to get 2 heavy cruisers is, of course, a good deal. By the way, I'm not sure if I ever talk about this, but Mogami got the upgrade, or no, not an upgrade, it's a conversion to a scout cruiser. I don't know. It's obviously still a heavy cruiser, but this is now a heavy cruiser with hangar capacity of 11. You still have 3 main battery towers, so it's still firepower. And I can put here later 11 float plane fighters for self-defense. And you get already with this up or conversion immediately the Type 21 radar. This radar you normally get first in April 43. So I don't know, but roughly speaking, I get this radar maybe 1 or 2 months earlier than most of the other ships. But this is the only heavy cruiser you can convert to this class. The 8 Japanese standard battleships you also can convert. I will convert them all. I think they have maybe 14 or 15 capacity even. Of course, in reality, this makes no sense because this installation would be very easily burning because of all the gasoline for the aircraft. But in this game, I think it's not really a part of the calculation. But we will see. I still think on paper it makes sense in the game, not in reality. Good. Maybe the last stuff here is my cruisers are closing in. So tomorrow I will be here somewhere. I can 8 hexes, here or here. And the next day I can arrive here and see if there's something in port. My subs don't detect anything, but I can still see that the base is up, is building up. So there is troops on board here at this base, but I don't know if there are ships. If I cannot find ships, I can maybe still make a bombardment and try to sink something or damage some aircraft on the ground or whatever. And to protect my own cruisers or battle cruisers here, I have here the standard scout cruiser with my home fighters. And they are now getting better. They're still not perfect. You can see that the defense is only at roughly 64. So, but this is a problem with the scout float plane fighters. You cannot train them at Navy attack. So I can only train them at Navy search, or I simply change the pilots out to standard Navy pilots, Navy fighter pilots. Is also possible. But I also don't have this airframe more under production, so I have the 74 airframes in pool. And once I consume them, then it's over. But this airframe is anyway outdated in 43. Then you have normally the Rex float plane fighter. A little faster, a little more tough. Same firepower. Good. See you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.